Whatever it was inside the coven with me, it was taking its time. It was trying to scare me. And it was working. Normally, in this sort of situation, with an unknown assailant stalking me, ready to leap out and tear my throat from my neck at any moment, I'd draw upon the surrounding magic and cast a spell that would turn the creature into confetti. Sling a spell first, ask questions later. That was my usual way of dealing with threats. But there was no surrounding magic. I extended my senses as far as I could. Invisible tendrils firing out in all directions, desperately searching for a hint of the uncanny to draw upon. But everything out there was cold. This was a dead place, in more ways than one. The creature unleashed a low, rumbling growl that shook the floor beneath me. I was in deep trouble. I tried to ignore the blood, the chunks of my dead masters, and I reached out again to try and make sense of what I was up against. A voice. A single word, repeated staccato. Kill, kill, kill. The words rolled in my head as I came upon the thing stalking me. It was a slippery creature, hard to get a clear grip on. But it was obvious it wasn't the person behind this attack. No. This creature was a booby trap. Time to take stock. I had no magic to draw on, only the weak power I already had stored inside of me, and even that was dulled by my surroundings, as though my magic was shrinking back in confusion at the emptiness around me. Did the creature, keeping just out of view, know that? Did it realize I was running on empty? That I'd brought a slap to a gunfight? No, I didn't think so. It was just toying with me. That's the only reason it hadn't already pounced. It wanted to make me scared to death, before death actually came calling. Whatever you are, this is already getting boring. Show yourself, but know that I have enough juice in me to make your head go pop. Understand? A bluff, but I sold it as best I could. From what I could sense, it was a simple attack beast, left to take care of anyone who stumbled into the dead coven. To take care of me. Whatever this creature was, it was the monkey, not the organ grinder. Do you hear me, you dumb beast? Show yourself or get the hell out of my house! A growl, and the floor shook. A wall in front of me exploded. A creature erupted into the room, bursting through brick and plaster as though they were matchsticks and spit. The horned monster dog bore down on me, eyes burning with red fire, its slavering maw a jumble of razor-sharp teeth. It raised its great head, drool dripping from its mouth and splashing on the floor, mixing with the spilled blood of my masters. I had to choose my next words carefully. There, I said. Good dog. No, not ideal. A thought struck me. This monster was created by magic, which meant it must have magic available for me to feed on. I ignored the fact that I should have already been able to sense any magic in my vicinity and tried to reach out to it, to draw in some of its power. But whoever had created this thing was no idiot. Some sort of extra spell had been cast upon the beast that made my mental feelers slide off it, like I was trying to push two magnets of the same pole together. So that was why I hadn't been able to sense its presence, or its magic. The thing was shielded from me. Whoever had ripped apart my witches and left this booby trap didn't plan on making things easy. The demon dog took a step forward, a floorboard cracking beneath one of its heavy cloven feet. Stop! Stay there! Don't take another step or you're done for! I raised a hand by way of a threat and formed a weak cloud of sparks that swam around. I could only hope the monster took it for the beginnings of something more powerful. You will tell me your name, beast, and the name of your master, or I will... I didn't get to finish the sentence. The creature snorted and began to charge, drool trailing from its mouth. I flung the weak defense spell I'd conjured in the creature's direction as I turned and bolted from the room. I wasn't sticking around to check for damage. I knew the energy I'd unleashed would present the beast with about as much of an obstacle as a cobweb. I ran some more, arms pumping. A second more and the thing would be on top of me. I stopped sharply and threw myself through the open door to my left, causing the monster to tumble past me, unable to halt its momentum. I landed on the floor, shoulder jarring, but I didn't have time to register the pain. I rolled onto my knee and turned to the open doorway. I could hear the thing scrabbling to stop and turn. I looked around for anything in the room I could use, a weapon perhaps, then realised I'd jumped into Trin's gallery, which was swamped with easels and canvases and little else. I didn't have time to run back out of the door and head in the other direction, which left me only one option: the window. My only hope was to get out of the coven and away from the blind alley. Either the thing wouldn't follow me, conjured to stay within the confines of the coven, or it would give chase. If it followed, then my one shot was to make it out of the blind alley and onto the street before it caught up with me. After that, I'd pull whatever magic I could from the surroundings to do whatever I could. I'd have at best seconds to power up, and I already knew that wouldn't be long enough for me to gain enough energy to destroy the thing. But I was out of options. The corridor's floorboards crunched as the beast headed back to the doorway, back towards me. Its giant, snarling head came into view, and its burning, hellish eyes looked at me with hunger, desperate to taste my flesh. Okay. It was now or never. This was going to hurt. "Here, doggy," I said. I used the last of my power to hurl a chair at the beast's face, hoping to slow it down for even half a second. Then I turned, raised my arms over my head, and threw myself through the coven window.